Cover it with you. Mankind. Lizzie mixes it with love. Make the world feel good. Mm. Mm. Putting away some of the stuff. Putting away some of the stuff. Putting away the stuff that you need to for. Putting away all the stuff. Yo, Lions, yo, Craig, what's good? The UK crew in the house. What's happening, Brendan? And hey, the Wandering. How you doing? They just got better. Tim is here. I agree 100%. Tim Reed, ladies and gentlemen. Lions is getting there. That's right. That's right, you're getting there. That's right, you're getting there. Everywhere I ever needed to get, I got there by continuing to get there. Kept going and I got there. Shout outs to Lions. Best motor scooting spoon carver I ever did see. Definitely should go over there and check it out. This therapy over there. That dude digging in with that spoon. Oh, that little oh man, what did I do with my trash can? You guys would say a trash pail, a waste basket. Someday in here, what's up? Hey, Tim Reed. A bin, there you go. You know, it's funny, right? Just this morning, literally, I'm down here and I'm just, I'm always trying to think of a new short to do. And I was thinking about you guys. And I thought I should do a video to compare what we call stuff and what you guys call stuff. And I was like, for us, the thing a woman puts on her head to protect it at night to keep stuff from messing up the hairdo is a bonnet. And what's on the front of my truck covering my engine is a hood. Hoods are on trucks, bonnets are on heads. And then I thought we put hoodies on our heads, and my whole argument fell apart that quick. That quick. So I need to make some stuff. Already loving the time over here. That was hours ago. Coffee time as well. So what we're gonna do today is build another, maybe two desktops for my bench, because those seem to work out good for me. It's kind of a theme happening, but it's good. I can just move the whole bench and each tabletop will be set up for a different thing, right? I don't know if this is a great view for you, but I'm going to try my bestest. Mr. West is trying to do what he can do for you, baby. Look at me setting up lights and everything. Because I care. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you, Andrew. Lions, y'all, the UK folks might not be celebrating this today, but over here, it's Memorial Day. It's a day that we celebrate the people who served in the military, past and present, and honor them by taking a day off of work. I don't know how that does that, but we're all glad to have barbecue on a day like today. Why is it called a hoodie when it's actually a sweater thing? Sweater thing. I don't know. I don't know. Mysteries unfolded. West does it. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Discuss cultural differences and woodworking. Tune in next week. Chuck Knights. Mildly funny. Mildly funny. But he makes Neil deGrasse Tyson guffaw like every 5 seconds. Hooded sweater. It is a hooded sweater. Can't wait till you all hear the song I'm making. Yeah, I can't wait to hear the song you're making. I make a song every 10 or 20 seconds. So far, I got no hits. Maybe I need to commit more time to each song. We've got some butcher block, which is my favorite medium for this because I always have scrap butcher block. Every single one of these is from a different kitchen I built. And every single one of them would have gone to the trash had I not been an absolute hoarder, which I am. Because now I've got the room to be one. Before, I didn't have the space. I wasn't empowered in my hoardness. But now I am. I need a tape measure. Usually all my tape measures are in trucks because I always want to have one in the truck. Let me see if I got one in here. See if I got one in home. Tape measure. Stop jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. Jiggling, baby. Go ahead, baby. The MC, the master, the overlordian, playing MCs like an old accordion. Y'all know about that old LL Cool J. Ladies love Cool James. We're gonna call this. This will be different. If I put the corner on that side, I might try that. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom, which is going to be the front. This will be the front. This will be the front. I mean, the side facing me. So, I have a hard time reversing things in my mind, but weirdly, I can read upside down. But maybe everybody can do that. I don't know. That's going to be the bottom. That means this is where I need the taller piece over here. So I got a couple planks of wood. I need a pencil. Man, I've been up for like hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe longer than that, drinking coffee. Delicioso. So what I'm basically going to do is do the measurements that I've got on my previous boards, because one of them I basically just turned into a dedicated hold fast system that basically locks in wood for me to plane and for me to use my spoke shaves with. And that works. I just don't like disassembling it, reassembling it, and I can keep it locked in and keep it a little bit stronger that way if I just keep it dedicated to that table. And this one over here that I've drilled the holes in and made fasteners in it so it can hold down my articulating vise is perfect. I don't like taking it apart every single time I use that vise, so I'm going to dedicate that to that. And then I'm going to have at least one dedicated to just a flat open surface. And then I may have one dedicated to these couple tools here that don't yet have a permanent home. That and that dude might be good, you know, near each other. And I just set it on one of those tables and, you know what I'm saying, move them as I need them. Because these are fairly light. So I think that can work. All right, back to what we're doing. While you're here, you might as well press the like button. Let's see. So one side from the other side, we're going to go exactly 12 inches to center. That's going to work out fine for my weak brain. Does not want to remember stuff this morning. So we'll go right there, 12 inches from center. We got basically a 32-inch piece. Let's cut that distance in half. I'm cutting 2 inches off of it, and then we shall find the center. I'm going to go 12 inches right here. Make a mark. Make a marker. And then I'm going to make another mark at 12 from that 12. That should put me 2 planks in somewhere near about the center. Can you see this? No. Why? I ain't got no brains. Oh, let's see if I can move this around. You know how annoying it is to be on the other side of someone shining lights on you and then using photography equipment, you know? And let me tell you, I don't want that for you. Don't. So, boom, boom. We got our 2 marks there. Now, just to be on the right side of history, I'm going to use a square. And I'm going to make relatively straight lines. Just so that later on, if it comes up, I'll be able to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even doing it like that. That's what I could say. Why is that spinning? Are we spinning? I was spinning for a second. That was crazy. You know, that scares me. I'm not afraid to admit it. Let's see the spinny swirly thing. I get all insecure. I'm like, what are you doing? You trying to hurt me or something? Kind of feels like it's somebody like you know, like you got a job and you thought you had a cool boss. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh, welcome to the team. This is gonna be great. Come on board. And then you get onboarded, and then all of a sudden they're like, get all weird. And they're like, where are you smoking weed in the break room? You know what I'm saying? Ugh. Power tripping, right? Am I right, guys? Oh, I'm teasing, of course. I do need some 2x4s, some scrap 2x I definitely have. But I also would like a 2x6 in some of this scenario. Maybe I could use 2x4 that both ways. Maybe I can sort of make a T situation. That'll give me a little bit more height with the 2x that I'm going to run straight anyway. On the other ones, I've been screwing it in with a like 3/4 inch board, fastening the 2x to that board, and then fastening that rig to this board and glue in between. If I do it with the 2x, I think I can get away with it. Get enough for what I need. I won't stand on this or anything very often. I definitely will stand on it, but not very often. One of them has to be higher than the other to accommodate the height difference between the vise and the hardware on the vise that I put in to hold it, and the actual seat that it rests on the bench. So one has to be taller than the other. Let me see how much by real quick. So essentially, I only need a good inch difference. So these are an inch and a quarter. I mean, inch and a half. So that should do some of that for us height-wise. And we just have to adjust a little bit. We're going to be over here and wake up the neighbors because we don't care. It's early. And it's Memorial Day. They got to sleep in anyway, right? Right? Am I right, guys? Shout outs to all the inconsiderate neighbors out there. Of course, y'all know I'm joking. My neighbors can't hear me from where they are. See? That's one of those Tesla table saws. I got to charge it. Bluetooth don't work on it right now. Hit it. I really gotta put this mask on more often. Because I'll just, I think about it when I'm sanding. I don't be thinking about it when I'm using that tool real fast, but it puts it in the air. My nose always gets itchy. And then I go, oh, I should have, And that ain't right. I'm gonna cut this one too. And just so that I'm not being a complete and total disappointment to my insurance company, let me go put this mask on now that I've made the world aware that I am putting myself in danger. Danger. I know. I know. Type of little Marvel you don't come across often. All right. So we're going to need a little bit of glue, some sheetrock screws, because they're just going to hold these together until that glue sets up, and then it's all good. Just checking on your chat. Just checking on you. Wes, if you get wood from a local sawmill, it's more likely to be true dimensions. Yeah, but I don't really care about that, to be honest. Like when we are no air filter or dust collectors, I do. It's just rainy today. And what I can do over here is I can open those two windows, the one that I've got right there with the filter in front of it. That's just to keep fresh air in and keep the bugs out. But I can replace that filter with one of the box fans I have.
and it's got a screen on it, and then I'll just put it up there, turn it on or whatever. But I'm just trying to keep some of that humidity, some of that out of the shop. And it's a little early. I just haven't gotten into it too big. But this works for now. You're not gonna let them pay you though. Who's that? Who you not gonna let pay you, man? Who's trying to pay you and you're saying no? Explain yourself. That's what my wife would have said. Explain yourself. I don't know where that accent came from. She totally doesn't sound like that. Here we go. So, one, happy Veterans Day to those of you who served in the military, and those of you who have a different perspective on that. I believe in your right to have that perspective. I do believe you can hold that opinion for one day. For one day, you can keep that opinion to yourself and allow people to honor what they honor. Yeah? Fantastic. So there's a couple of elements to this. One is securing these two buys to each other in a structurally tangible way. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to have a liquid glue bond, which is going to be a chemical bond. And we're going to have a mechanical bond of a fastener passing through. Look at that grain. Doesn't that look pretty? Be terrible to use, but it looks pretty on it. I'm going to just drill straight through, just enough to be able to catch this one and hold it tight up against that one. But we've got gravity also working in our favor, because once all this is done, it'll be sitting, there'll be weight on it, there'll be a bottom underneath it. It'll be good to go immediately. Immediately. Let me go secure some screws that are long enough to accomplish our goals. And as I look, I'll be honest, I don't see a whole lot. A whole lot. I see some 1 5/8 because when I'm, because when I am doing drywall, which is what drywall screws are for, I really appreciate the shorter the screw that can still do the job, the faster it goes. And that little microsecond adds up if you're doing like a lot of drywall work. So I got the habit of using the shortest ones possible. But of course, it's a little bit more work. And I'm trying to go as deep as what I need to do now. But all we got to do is countersink them, and I'll just use a Forstner bit for that. And I think we'll be good to go. Right now, I'm just scanning my shop for a Phillips head. I want a long shaft Phillips head, but at this point, I think I'll settle for woohoo! There we go. We got what we asked for. Thank you, universe. All right. Dun, dun, dun. All right, one more thing. The Forza. The mighty Forza bit, allowing deeper penetration. Hideaway screwing mechanism and many things that make this mission possible. That's a. I love that when that happens. Ugh. All right, let's get this show on the road. Want these and these to go together. So in that case, that's mostly my flat. I like that. This is not, but I can live with it. I want that flat side, more glue surface than this chippy side. So that's why this is going to be the side to get the stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Confused myself that quickly. Bit burnt up, say what? Your bit's burnt out. All right, so now I've buried this thing that deep, which means roughly I'm right there inside of the wood. Right? So I've only got right there from, like, say that spray paint spot to where it's clear, right? So this screw go in that hole will give me that much. Oops. This screw in that hole will give me about that much bite into my material, which is plenty. Plenty. And that's what we want. So now I'm going to go ahead and smack some glue on it. Wait a minute. Get it how we live it. 10 toe. I don't need the mask for the screw gun. Also, I have an air filtration system over there. I've got a Rosenthal box that I built, and I should have cleaned it recently. I haven't, so that I can turn it on and have something functional in here collecting this excess dust. But thanks for nagging me about it, Mom, for crying out loud. Jeez. God, that's losers. Listen, guys, I do occasionally get somebody telling me to do more safe work than I'm doing, right? And it is sort of my tendency to fight that. Because I'm a professional, okay? You know about tools, dude. But the truth is, keeping mindful of safety, even if you know, somebody keeping you mindful of it is not a bad thing. And the fact that it bothers my ego still doesn't erase the intent of the person saying, hey, dude, be careful. You know what I'm saying? So I want to try to learn to embrace that help, that assistance in the mindfulness. You know what I'm saying? It's National Mental Health Awareness Month. Gotta know when you're being a jerk. That's part of it. You gotta have friends around who are good enough friends to say, Motor scooter, you being a jerk. You know what I'm saying? Definitely need that. I need that. I have that for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Currently, I'm over here looking for some 3/4 inch material that I can put down for that to hold this side of things. I think I found it. I'm gonna have to cut it down a little bit real quick. And I'm gonna put this mask here on. See if I don't tear that sun good up. Hey, I'm over here. I'm over here, fella. Look at me. Look at me. You didn't see nothing. Did it? You didn't, literally. That's me being clever while I'm also ignoring you. Okay, let's see. This is a little bit crooked, so I'm gonna just tilt it, and I'm gonna reference this edge because that's what I can see next to my line here, and then I'll do the same thing over here rather than trying to hit that center line and line it up in the middle. We don't have to do that. This is a relatively simple project. But we do have to glue this son of a gun down. And we do have to do the same thing. We're going to drill with our doohickey. Get us a little bit of depth. Feels good. Feels real good. Feels real good right there. Hit it again right here. And we're going to do a third right here. You might notice I'm putting a slight angle on these. That is intentional. One, it's keeping my bit away from that glue. The second is getting me deeper in that wood so that when I bite, I'm hitting here and here. Oops, here and here rather than right here and right here, which won't be as good. So again, we're going to place that in a comfortable spot. Lean it just like that. Glue it just like that. Ooh. I was watching a thing on a documentary on Earth, Wind, and Fire. If you get a chance, dude, you should check that out. You should check that out. I didn't even realize that all their songs are affirmations. That's why Earth, Wind, and Fire's music feels so good. If you know about Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know all of the songs are feel-good songs. I didn't even realize that. But I was like, what? What the hell? I did not know that right there. Y'all remember the Squidbillies? I used to love that cartoon. I don't know why, but I love that cartoon. Loved it. Loved it like I went to school with it. I loved it like I had gotten in trouble one time and I had to call it and it pulled up, you know, like right away and like gave me a ride home and didn't like try to take advantage of me. That's how I love that cartoon. Now, because these are drywall screws, and this is hard maple, there is a such thing as putting too much torque on it and snapping the head off of those things. So you have to be a little bit careful. We are relying on mostly the mechanical bond until the chemical bond sets up. And I've already explained that to you. I don't know why you continue to subconsciously ask me. Okay, so if this is going out this way and this is the front, then I've put the thicker wood already on the wrong slap-dragon side. What in the name of Jesus is going on here? Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign I should switch my technique, my mechanism, my ideas. Let's do it. We are going to put the other side on that side. And we're going to do it with intention and purpose. All right. And because these drywall screws are, in fact, long enough to penetrate this wood and still get a good enough bite here, we won't have to countersink them. We can just go right ahead and glue these slap to each other or one another, depending on what part of the South you hail from. Unfortunate that hole's right there, but that's a good use of the scrap piece of wood. It had a life, and now it has a new purpose. It's quite refreshing. And I think of this board and all it has done. I can only be proud. Board comes from humble beginnings. This board did not have a fancy education. This board is a blue collar board. This board was meant to work hard. And the fact that it's here today, I don't want to be choked up. The fact that it's here today, woo, screws on the glue. My favorite Metallica song. Yikes. You gotta put a little bit more pressure when you don't pilot that hole, but that's all right. My middle name is Pressure. When I was in middle school, they say, Pressure, you in here? I'd be like, damn right I am. Damn right I am. All right. Let's fold him back. Now we're gonna glue this down again. We don't have to put in a additional thing for this one. We don't have to do any countersinking, but it's gonna be heck pushing those screws through with no pre-drilled hole in the board. But we've witnessed that and done that just now, and we know what we're in for. I'm putting plenty of glue on here because I need it to spread out. I'm not going to bother spreading it in any particularly fancy way. You know, there are guys who do it the fancier way. But this here my invention. You understand me? And do it how I want to. Now get out of here. Off my grass, boy. And then I'll be with you in just a second though, chat. I'm trying to keep you mildly humored while I put this together. Just so I don't cuss. Get in trouble. Tight. Bam. That's all we need. 3 screws on each side. Done and done. Now, what I am going to do, because I don't care about my tools. I clean them. I'm just kidding. I don't not care about my tools. But you recognize these things are more durable and multifunction than most people do. And you can do all sorts of cool stuff with them. For instance, keeping all that excess glue and whatever sawdust came with it. Clean that out. Use that sawdust. Slide it right in this hole. Now this is the bottom side of the desk. No big deal. But it's getting that both that material out of there and putting it to some good use. And that's what we're about here at West Desert Industries. We're about less trips to the trash bin. We're about Chevy trucks. We're about raising farm fresh bluegills and redbreasts in our own backyards. Oh my gosh, the AI is going to take that like a commercial, and then they're going to ask me about it. Dumb computer. What an idiot. Oh no, it's probably going to hear that and be like, oh yeah. It ain't this guy, Winston, that makes us angry. I am kind of the exact opposite of AI though. That's why I won't use it. Like, how am I gonna DIY and also let the computer do all the work? You know what I'm saying? Ugh. Don't let glue boogers stick on your crotch. Good way to get in bad trouble. That's all I'm saying. So I'm essentially just getting all this glue spread out. It'll dry faster this way as well and be less problematic for me and my hands going forward. Pulling all this squeeze out. There's wood that I don't care about at all, at least this side of it. And then I've got that material going. I've got that excess squeeze out going. And should have me a new top that I can use once I get that other one off my desk, off my bench, I should say. But I'm also gonna bring this up for a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. I'm gonna put a quick sand on that and just clean it up so that when I put it on there, I'll at least feel good about it. You know what I'm talking about? So I'll go with 100 grit on the orbital sander. I think I've already got a 100 grit pad on it. So now All I gotta do is zoom, 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 zoom. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't have an outlet this close for this thing. This is the first time I felt some kind of way about not having one of those, what do you call them, cordless sanders. Because I don't like cordless sanders personally. Um, not the couple of them that I've used. I didn't prefer them. And since I don't generally need to remote sand, then having a cord isn't a big hindrance for me for the value and the work capacity I get. Okay. You 30 minutes behind, man. Sometimes mine does that too. It's crazy. It just gets behind, dude. I know what you're thinking. Why is he protecting his lungs and not his coffee cup? Hmm? I was born in the 70s, man. Born in the 70s. We drank from water hoses without even letting it clear out. You just turned it on, and whatever's in there is in there. You know what I'm saying? Bulletproof, dude. That's the wrong sandpaper. No. That's 100 grit, and that's all I needed. I just want to clean it up a little bit. I don't want to knock off too much. You know what I'm saying? Because I still want as flat a surface as I can, because it's still a countertop. You know what I'm saying? But I want to get all whatever little registration marks and glue and stuff like that that I had on it off of it. So it worked out. Smoke is trolling. Oh, I'm sorry. See, this is what happens when you get dad jokes too early. I didn't even get the dad joke. Mm-mm-mm. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. For anybody who's got family who served in the armed forces. Top of the morning. Oh, I cannot do an Irish accent to save my life. You grew up on a farm and stuff that we did as kids. Exactly, dude. Fire wheel would be better. Mm. Give me more. Give me more advice on how to make it nice. I was thinking about like a chain, like if I just smack it with a chain, like maybe the dents would like work their way up, get back to smooth. This is good coffee this morning, family. This is good coffee. With good bread comes great responsibility. Maybe drag it behind Dorothy. Yes, because the road is relatively flat. Good idea. Good idea. Let's take that piece off. That should heareth. I know this is crazy. This is crazy. This is like this feels like I'm letting you look in my underwear drawer right now, seeing this much of my shop mess in one area. They're like, I thought he was so neat and tidy. I'm not. I try very hard to be though. And this is as far this literally is me trying to my very best. This is as good as I can get. But I'm clearing this stuff off and putting these things where they're supposed to be so that I can take this top off, put that top on, and then see how we feel about it. See what modifications and such we're gonna make on it. Because if we dedicate it to a particular thing, we might as well set it up for that thing. Wouldn't you say? Speaking of, I almost answered myself in Tina's voice. Because smoke, if you don't know, you should go hang out over at Smoke Shop. Because it's hilarious. This is his new characters over there. Well, not new characters, but to me, I don't know, hilarious. Anyways,
Smoke shop for vice president has my endorsement. Vice president, because I obviously am the new associated designated resident Wu-Tang affiliate moderation grand poobah. Duh. Okay. I'm holding this trash in my hand, right? That I just picked up and examining it carefully to make sure that there is no useful trash in it. It's shameful. Tell you what, boy. Growing up broke will do something to you, won't it? Won't it? Won't it, chat? This seems to have worked. I don't want to brag. I don't want to be. I have to lift my tripod again. I get so hot every time I want to zoom in. So I just turn the phone around instead. All right. This sort of worked. This feels like a lot of space, comparatively speaking. Look at room to do crafts, art projects. So, what would I be doing primarily here? I could do leather work. I need a nice flat open space for that. I need some room for knives. I can put stuff there, or I can fasten stuff here out of the way. Let's see what it looks like with our doohickey. And is the doohickey far enough out of the way? In such a configuratory circumstance. Don't look that up on Google. That'd probably lie and say it's not a word because I'm ahead of the game. But I'm right behind Lord Banks. Okay. That is a 90s dad joke. This is good. This is good. Nice crotch angles. It's good for the tabletop. So I think I like this. Needs a thingamajig. Oh, I need some doojimahickey's. First item on my new tabletop. So we were considering this for a way to hold some of these new tools. So let's take a look at that in a real way. Probably this sander is going to get some heavy use, and it's not a big enough machine that I think it needs some massive table to work. But it does seem like this would be a good place to work on it. I can fasten this actually over here, and I could actually, I'm gonna have to bring it higher. Yeah, I can angle that towards me. Now this, the foot that we created over here is sitting solid on the bench. The other one is in the vise over here.
sit solid on that or just above the hardware, and then I lock it down so I don't put pressure or stress on the hardware. But then this cord very nicely rolls off this back edge. I don't have to worry about it on that corner. I can reach my power strip. I wonder if I put the foot peg on here. I don't think I need it for this tool. I don't think I need it for this tool. What I think I do need is to look up and see if I can find some finer sandpaper in this. And I also wonder if I can use some wet sandpaper here and make a, that looks like this could be like clean out holes, right? These right here. It could be holding some hardware down in there. I don't know. But they sit out a little bit. And it's sort of similar to how weep holes. Anyway, so I'm thinking about that just because I'm thinking about what if I put water on this? Does it bother this motor? It seems like the housing is encapsulated and only that the 3 screws and washers that go through, and then the shaft of this motor goes through. And this is plastic here, so, and this is like a hard plastic. But I think ultimately I'm mostly protected if I were to get some water on it, not spraying water on it, but cool the knife, it gets wet, you know what I'm saying? Going back and forth. I think that'd be okay. I think I could use it right here and be okay. Probably would have been a good idea to keep that motor away from me, but I would rather be in this position than that position since I'm right hand dominant. You're in reverse, so you can't tell. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this setup, and it has these 4 bumpers on the bottom, so you can't just fasten this down because of these pronounced little metal nuts. But there's room from here to there, and these are a little bit longer, these rubber feet, and I think I can basically just send a screw through those rubber feet straight down into this bench, and I'm pretty much good to go. I think that works for me. Maybe right there, you guys can see pretty good right there. I, of course, will zoom in and not be featuring myself, but I think this works. I can go ahead and send those screws through now. I will start them. Oh, I've already got a bit available. Let me go grab some pew pews. Do do do. And I think I have another piece of this material because I actually want to make another board. But I also want to make a knife sharpening jig, and I want to set it here. Depending on if this company ends up sending me one, I'll use theirs. If they don't, I'll make one myself. Anyway, and maybe I can see if I can make one as good. But we shall see, Mr. Bond. So I'm going to screw right through the middle of these feet. That's just the kind of dude I am. I'm going to do it at a couple of angles because that's how I have to based on their locations, or I'd have to be using a really long bit to go around that, or I'd have to be using a right angle bit to turn and screw down that way. And I'm not going through all of that. I'll just turn this thing a little bit. The screw will follow the same path. Overall, should be good. Since I've already got these screws available, this is the laziest thing ever said on the internet. I'm going to just support it with some screws that I know aren't up for the task. Let me look and see if I got something better. Yeah, I think I do. I've got some of these coated exterior grade screws. They're basically tile backer board screws, and those are really good in strength wise. Very similar to decking screws. Very similar to exterior decking screws. Let me see what I got. I need a bit for these. I think I've got one nearby. Thought I saw it this morning. Just roaming wild and free. But maybe not. It'll be a good opportunity for me to put these two back where they're supposed to be, which is in the Forstner bit box. Forstner bit box. TV fun house. TV fun house. Get over here. All right, we need to put these bits back so that we can go ahead and get those bits. I was hoping I was going to run across it. I did not. I did no such thing. It did not happen for me. I do not know why. Anything I said at this point would be pure speculation. No true validity or sincerity in it. Let's see. That fits. A little wobbly. Not perfect, but boom. That's better. Lock it down. Toss it. Free yourself. This is going to be even tighter because it's a shorter neck on this bit. I need more bits. Caught. Not going to put a whole lot of pressure because remember, it's just grabbing that rubber and it's just following that screw hole we just made. And all we needed to do is not jump off the table. So I did not put a washer in here. So that might have been a mistake. Maybe should put a washer in there. But I have gone too far. Maybe not. That might be Steady Freddy. Might not rock. We'll know soon. Heck, if I knew a name that rhymed with that, I would have said it. Now, what are we going to do about this thing? What thing do you mean, West Desert? Oh, look, I already did Bit Snoop, Smokes Tina voice. Oh my God. Such a good character, though. Oh my God. should I also put this here as like an occasional right? Because I could have, that's going to make this heavy all around though, like a sort of bulky thing to take on and off. I know I'm not going to want to take it on and off. Would I rather get up and walk to a separate station at some point? Probably. Probably. And then the question becomes, at what point do I build another bench set up and then I just go sit down at the knife sharpening section? Room for, is this the same space that I'm going to be using whetstones in? Maybe. Is there room for whetstones on this table with this other stuff? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think I want wet stuff here anyway. So if I've got this here, I know I'm going to be shedding metal like crazy over here. So I'm probably better off without whetstones and without wood related items here. This should be maybe primarily a base for this equipment. And maybe be set up specifically to use this stuff and some room for the camera to get through and see. I think that's just gonna be the best way to go about that. I think so. Because also the rotary tool that comes with this fastens in over here on this side. That'll also be out of the way. I won't keep that accessory on here, but I mount this here. That wouldn't be the worst thing to ever happen, would it? What we could do is send one of these through here because it has already an opening for that. Let me get you where I can see you, where you can actually see what I'm doing. So that's a single hole. That's all it has there. That might be all I actually need there. But it gives me the opportunity to put in, I'm gonna have to find that forstner bit, put in another one of those holes with the threaded metal. I don't know what you call them. Hope I'm not offending any machinists out there. Don't you know a Googleheimer when you see one? It's a goddamn Googleheimer. What are you, Wiener Schnitzel? All right, so I'm gonna just go right here. That's a good random place for it. Let's find a random tool to mark it, because God knows keeping a pencil in this place is damn near impossible. That's what dad life is, just a series of being angry at yourself. Like being aware enough that it's nobody else's fault, but still being aggravated enough that you want to be mad anyway. Hell am I doing to myself? Happy Mental Health Awareness Month, peoples. Let's see if this is the right size. It's a nighttime, baby. It's the right size. Looks like it to me. To be the one you love. I said the nighttime. How was the right time? To be the one you love. Baby. Who all imagines little Rudy singing that song? I always think of little Rudy singing that song on the old Cosby Show before it was gross. That should be a new series. 80s television before they were gross. I hate finding out old factoids and stuff about entertainers. Well, I don't personally think we should take them seriously anyway, not beyond what they're actually doing. Like personality got nothing to do with whether or not you can sing or play football. But at the same time, you gotta know not to idolize those people, man. You gotta know that. Why don't you know that? Why don't you know that? Oh man, I cannot find the hex for this. There's a hex that I hand turn generally for these. But what I'll do instead is just round out the top. And everybody mad at me. You know what I mean? Everybody. So now I've made the entry a little bit wider. The bottom is still very narrow. And so I'm going to check in here, see if I've got that actual bit that I'm referencing. And I may. If I don't, then I'll do it with the power tool, and that'll be fine as well. Oh, there we are. There we are. Wonderful. Now, these don't exactly go in the same way the machined dillies do. Dillies do. Yeah. All right. But this is why I like the gel. If I'm putting super glue in here, just regular super glue, it's rolling all around and running straight down through this hole to the floor. But you can put this gel tight on these walls. If I wanted to, I could fill this opening with nothing but this gel. And there's some definite benefits to that. So I'm going to turn this screw so that people don't start going, you're supposed to turn it and then back it out, and turn it and then back it out. Which is true. What you're supposed to do. If you're a wuss. Just kidding. Do it right. This way we'll keep these teeth cutting you a nice groove instead of just tearing through. Because it will tear through if you just turn it. They'll sort of saw their way in rather than slice their way in. And that gel is all still in there. Oh my God, thing broke. Kidding me? Oh, it broke. Now, I happen to break just above, and that probably means it's super tight. So I'm gonna still use it. I'm gonna still use that some gun. Let's see if it's gonna work. We happen to have Phillips head right here. In fact, the long one right here. And it seems to be going in those threads. And it seems to be connecting with that too. And it's tight. And that's all we need. Bam. Now we are going to back that back out because we don't want that gel going through and locking this thing in there forever. We're not idiots. Jeez. What's your problem, dude? What's your major malfunction? But generally, we don't like raised surfaces like that on this desk. But this will be here. This will all just be here. I'm going to probably figure out a way to tie in power right here, where I can just have both of these sort of plug in together without having to run separate strips, but obviously not run these two at the same time. We could maybe put them on a three-way and just put them here. It might be convenient. It might be. Ooh, they got me. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'll put these tools back so I don't curse at myself later about having not done that. 37 likes is a whole heck of a lot, and I really do appreciate it. I'm going to take a quick look at the chat. I'm sorry if I missed people who are, who commented previously of me looking at the screen, but we're here now. I love you. What's up, Brandon? Take the top broken piece off, and hopefully there's enough threading left. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it seems to be. But I don't really mind this being up on this one like we were talking about this. I think I just read your comment before I said that. Yeah, because I don't care about it being flush here because these are going to be permanently mounted here. If I could just screw this one straight in, I would. The reason I'm not just putting some screws in that one because there's only one hole and I want it to be more solid. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fairly small machine. I can probably trust that one hole. But if I can't, I'll find another place to put another one. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink. Look, that in there. I'm not going to toss those into that box. I'm going to walk them over. Be a responsible citizen. Hey, it's the one man that makes me look like I have no style on YouTube. I don't know about that. I think you got plenty of style, New Roots. Hit that like button and like sticking out. You should give it a tap. Bink. Don't let it just project. Don't let your like button just stay untouched. If you don't grease that thing up and use it every now and then, it'll fall off. You'll forget you even have a like button. Then what'll that be like? People will remember you as the ghost watcher. You will have no name. Your memory shan't live on. You will be another nameless, faceless, likeless YouTuber consumer. That what you want? To be berated in an accent that makes you feel superior. That's it. Is that your thing? How's my boy Wes doing on this holiday? This fine holiday. I'm good. I'm drinking coffee. It's like something o'clock. I don't even know because it doesn't even matter today. My wife is upstairs sleeping. Fantastic. But I did get her a cup of coffee. Oh, I hear rustling. So anyways, we're all having a good time and a good morning so far. How are you? we got some successful projects done already this morning, namely this desk. And then in a short while, we'll move on to something else. I think I am going to go ahead. I'm impatient as hell. I'm going to go ahead and put some, I don't usually like putting what do you call it? The activator, which is just, alcohol, just rubbing alcohol. Sometimes it'll like create this crystal little stuff, and I don't like that stuff. I don't like the look of it. But hell, it might be dry by the time I find it. All right. I guess that means it's time to clean up a little bit. We've been doing a little bit every day. I promise you, when putting those box sides together the other day with the and flattening those cedar planks out with the Stanley number 4 was awesome. It created a mountain of shavings, and I'm surprised. And I can only imagine what's going to happen with that lathe over there once that starts happening. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. Now, for this, do I need even accessories for this station? Because there's not room, even if I wanted to put something like that. I wonder, the thing that I build, if I build it right here, let it come right down the middle, I can use that. I can do that. And I maybe even can use, I'm not even showing you, I'm sorry. I may even be able to use part of this desk, maybe pop in a couple of magnets right here so that I can hold whatever knife. I don't need that on the desk. I need it to be able to be elevated. I need it to be able to elevate because I need to be able to put the blade flat and have the handle up. But I need the blade to be fixed to something. Thank you for 41 likes, y'all. Y'all are really showing out this morning. I appreciate it. It only took an hour and a half to get it, and I know that sounds facetious, but it's not. I am grateful. Thank you. So if I put this here, put some magnets on this, just across here in various positions, because that'll be pretty easy to do with the cedar plank. I want to make use of my scrap. And then, where's my pieces? Let me check these parts. Check these here ports. Make sure I got enough room for what I'm thinking as well. Give it to you with my favorite part of that song, my very favorite part of that song is the woo woo at the end of that last live. It just brings in the rest of the instruments, and the bass guy just starts going bananas. And that woo woo, that's when I was like, oh yeah, these dudes got soul. That legitimized the Bee Gees for me. Staying alive. Whoa. Classic. Okay. This is what we're going to do. After the ramble, we'll be having some fun. Okay, I've got 2 of these. I've got this one right here, that takes a nut for fastening. I've got this one right here that I can maybe just make a pilot hole, screw it into something. But, and then I got these. The goal is this. Take these bad boys, right? Figure out a way to integrate them into these bad boys here that I've been making. And I think I can do that by just drilling a hole, smacking in some super glue, and then I could just be like, screw these things in, right? Won't take a whole lot if I've got them in there fairly deep. And now I need to just get the positioning right, right? And I end up with one of those tools that can, you know what I'm saying? Get the curve of a blade on a knife. I just have to get the geometry good. And that's why I think for now this one rules, because the geometry here should allow for, if that goes in there, life's getting sweeter. Oh, it does seem a thread in there. So I think I might even have the stuffs to stick that thing in something and use it. I don't know if I can do it right here or not, but I might be able to do it right here on this tabletop. That would be pretty incredible. And then I won't have to have a rig necessarily. I am the rig. You know what I'm saying? This might be good. So it's a couple of things I have to be considerate of is height. Being able to adjust the height is how I'll be able to adjust the depth. I'm at the angle of my cut. So if this is stationary, then that means the front would have to be able to move this piece backwards and forwards in order to adjust and change the angle. But if this can be adjusted instead, as it goes down further, then this could stay stationary, right? And I could adjust for my angle by elevating and lowering this piece, which may be the way to go. I just have to have enough thread that I can just send that thing way down, send it way up, and have confidence in it. But I don't think I'm in a bad place with this idea right now. I don't. Let's go ahead and make a little mark. And the good thing about this is we can literally do several openings if we want and bring this thing forward, backwards, up, and down. So we can't lose here. We can't lose. As soon as I say that, I probably jinx the whole thing. Probably got Bojo coming. See how I be self-sabotaging? I'm working on it, y'all. I'm working on it. I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. Give us a couple more of these. We just learned our lesson about making that hole too tight. We'll snap our piece. So we are going to do something a little bit different than before. Ooh, a little bit different than we did it the other time. Okay, let's see if that fits. Thought that was the same thread, but it might not be. But I do have a variety of sizes here. This could just be the wrong nut. But is there ever? Okay, don't do that, Wes. Have a captive audience of respectful people. Filthy to yourself. All right, that's not tight either. And these have like little razors on the end. It's not a bad idea to try these with a tool instead of your bare hands. Or you can use your human hands, but still it might cut them. That's not going. That's just not going to be a thing. So here's what we're going to do. I don't trust one of these by itself. I need a pair of these bad boys. What pair of what do I need? You know, you better not say it. Better not say it. But what we are going to do is mark our opening, and we're going to drill a hole close to the size of what we need, and we're going to have to just chisel down the rest until we've got that nice little hex shape that we want. I'm over here gathering some additional nuts. I think this one has a little gasket in it, and it may be the same size, but let's check it real fast and see. Nah, it's a little bit tight. A little bit tight. I think I've got some more machine screws over here. If not, I've got some at another place in another space in the shop. But I think I'm going to try this first. Got a couple of these and a few of those. I think if I can get, that's too much. That doesn't feel like the right thread. Because that's struggling to get on there. I think it might end up having to just be this one thing. We'll just have to get all the way through this board and get a substantial start on it. And put these back so I can chillax in my head later. In your head, in your head, in your head, in your head. Didn't expect that, did you? I'm a man of many mysteries. Many mysteries. Did I find another one? I found another. Bam. That's going to give us substantially more strength. Or, doggone it, it'll give us two options. Which are we going to go with? We don't need a lot of power. This is going to be mostly just slipping through. Ideally, anyway. So, we don't need a lot of torque that's going to be applied to this, but we may want to move it a few times, and that might help us not have to come out of that hole but so often. Let's go ahead and grab a bit back to our bits, see if we can find something close to that size that gets us around about it, and then we'll chisel out the remaining. That may send us to a Forzen bit. It may not, though. Let's just see. This one may be okay. Pretty close. We'll start the hole. We'll make a drawing around it, and then we'll adjust as we go. Welcome to the jungle. It's honey every day. Something gone away. Welcome to the jungle. I'm here. I bet that made somebody angry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Disrupted. I am sorry. Axel does not deserve that kind of tribute. It's the best I got. It's the best I got. Now this hole is going all the way through. We're gonna go with 3 different sizes for this, right? We wanted enough for this to get in easily. And we also wanted it wide enough at the top for this to be attainable in getting in that hole or close to it. But we want the deeper part of this just to hold fairly snug in there. We don't want it to be able to clack around too much. It'll make it weird, right? So I still want to go a little bit wider down there. But I want it to be able to pass through if I need to go much deeper. But I don't want a whole lot of slop in it. I think you can understand and respect that. I think you're the kind of person who can understand I don't like slop. Kind of screwing into the wood right there. Pretty doggone good. Pretty doggone good. So that means it's as tight as I'm going to want it to be once I actually put these in as well. Because that's not the end, friends. That's not the end. Just try to center that with that knot. Now these are wide, sloppy marks. And that's okay as long as they're wide and sloppy all the way around. But at least give me some idea of centrally locating what I'm. You see, I'm way left over here. But I can just adjust for that. And shade in what's essentially central. Right. And then we'll take our chisel and we shall cut ever so gently, ever so lightly, ever so blissfully. No, we're going to beat on it. We're going to beat on it. Let's get all this junk off of here so that we can. I think we can go ahead and fasten this down, though. Just so that I can get it off my mind. I just died in your arms tonight. Not to be something to share. How did I have my chat on right before? And then I look down. You know what I see right now on my TV? I see Jean-Claude Van Damme and Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. Why? I don't know why the algorithm would do that to me. Like, I thought it was cool. Trying to replace me with some nerds. I'm gonna put this here. Oh, I forgot that's not metal. I'm gonna get this over here because I will need it shortly. This over here because I won't. This over here because I won't. Don't want to rattle that. Don't want to rattle that. I wonder if I could just technically put this one right here and let that be the low one. Put this one here and let that one be the high one. But they interfere with one another. I don't know. Not gonna mess around with it. Put all this stuff aside that I may or may not need. Why don't you just come over here with these other magnets? There you go. I can move that. I'm pretty sure I'll use this so I can get rid of the stupid tag. Joke's on me. I can't get rid of the stupid tag. Let me go ahead and start cutting. Hope y'all are having a good day off, if indeed you are having a day off. If you're not, I hope you're having a good time despite being at work. Or because you're at work, depending on how you like your job. You know what I mean? Then I get Rob stuck in my head screaming, "How you like me now?" Ugh. Great accent. Terrible singing voice. Hear that bird? It's an American gobstopper. He shows up when you chew someone else's gum without permission. Like I said, I don't need a whole lot of depth here. Just enough to sink that knot. So we can do most of it with the chisel. And just a little bit of pressure. Cutting through pretty good. If you're wondering what species of wood this is, I'm not sure. It looks sort of like white oak to me. That's in somebody's kitchen. Honestly, do not know why anybody wouldn't use butcher. It's so cheap now for these kinds of surfaces. Woodworking, desktop surfaces, really, really good. I've never once thought to myself, I wish I had laminate on top of this instead. Never. Now, I can think of some circumstances where laminate is good. It's good for, cleaning glue off easier. But this has not been a real problem for me. I've not really been too distressed about not being able to get glue off of my desktop surface. I've Not ever had that as a problem. And by the time you buy the laminate, you really have bought the same amount of, you spent the same amount of money as you would have for a finished chunk of butcher block. And you can resand and refinish this stuff as much as you want. Just be passing on the tips as I get them, y'all. And we'll check in a second and see if we got our depth okay. And see if we can get that material that we're digging out back out of the hole if possible. Let's see. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is find that hole from underneath. Keep your dad jokes to yourselves. And having no success. Let her rip on the mom jokes though. Feel free. All right, let me go ahead and go through this way. What I got. Maybe I just reclogged it. Maybe I reclogged it. Reclogged it. Reclogged it. What was the hole size? That was wide. And this one was the bottom. Now it has to not only just be in there, but it has to be center to what we want. I got too much space over here, so I need to shim it a little bit on that side to kick it over. Let's see what we can do that with. Super glue gel. Super glue gel. Super glue gel, super glue gel, super glue gel. All right. That I need on those pliers, we'll just square that edge. So we'll build a little shoulder for just this one part of this hex. And we'll make it just a little bit taller than what we need so we can stick it in there. Have it controllable, something up top. Now, we'll go ahead, put some more of this gel because it'll hold where it's at. And we shall drop that in place. I think I'm going to do it with the actual key because that'll let me move it without putting my hand. Do it. And hit that with the mallet a few times. sure that we can go all the way down as far as we want to go. Seems like it. Going excellently. That's a word. And it's a word I should use upon this day. Excellently. I'm gonna give a couple more wraps on that edge there. And I'm gonna use this little angle just so that I can get some, well, angle. And just think that thing is good as it'll go. That I'm happy with. This still turns freely. We went down a considerable ways. We know we're well beyond what we cut out with this anyway. And we know we can go into our hole that we drilled out for this, where it'll stiffen up and just get better as we tighten it. That I'm happy about. So I'm gonna get this all the way out the way just in the event that some of that glue gets on these threads. I don't want that to be a problem. That's excellent. I'm gonna put a little bit more glue around the perimeter, just so it can harden up and give me less movement, which is gonna be excellent. All right, so sawdust or any sort of powder really will activate this glue. And it works out pretty good. So in the name of that, with that understanding, we're going to do a quick little effort towards getting it set up. And we're going to get some 80 grit, I think, if I got some right here available. I'm going to put some 80 grit on this. And we're going to use some of this cedar dust real fast. Don't take too long to make a bunch of dust, does it? Dust, does it? That's enough right there, right? And don't have gloves on. Don't have gloves on. Before that glue is not going to set up by the time I go put some gloves on. So I'm going to do it so I don't have that all over my hands, because once it hits my skin, it will activate because of the oils and moisture in my skin. So till I need it on my skin, I prefer to keep it off. So now I'm just going to push all of this little sawdust over there and fill in those holes. Did not mean to do that. Get that stuff out of that hole. But around this perimeter, that works fine. All right. We're going to do the same thing right here. Give ourselves the same set of circumstances. Only this time, try to be a little smarter about it. I'm going to put this already in and send it down till I do feel it snug enough to start sort of threading into the wood, because it does get narrower at the bottom. Do it like that. And this way I can just make whatever marks I need. And I can just follow those, and they'll be exactly right first time. Now, if you want it to be really precise about this, here's what you can do. You take your marking knife and just cut right there against that nut. But do it that way, there's not much chance I can miss. Now, unless, of course, I turn my nut. So I'm going to continue. And as I continue, I'm going to go around the nut clockwise, because that's the way to tighten this one. And so if I go clockwise, I'm pulling clockwise, it'll make the effort to tighten the nut if there's any pressure, not loosen it. And it's not likely to tighten it any further by just this knife pressing it. But loose is easier to do. And again, this is function over form. I'm not trying to be particularly precise in terms of going beyond my cut. I don't really mind it. Not in this case. So we're out. We got a good mark for our hex. Get this out of our way. Get this out of our way. And we're going to get a chisel, a little small joint. Put them right against those shoulders we already made. And we're just going to tap them in towards the hole, so we don't break out to the outside, because that'd be the opposite of what we want to do. We want tight, not loose. We just give it a decent size whack, and it seems to do the job. We're just going to hold right there in that same corner. Like I said, I'm slight tilt to the inside. And then once we're inside, we'll straighten that shoulder up on the way down, not going the opposite way. But we have kept our shoulder clean and intact by letting that first hit be a little bit off the shoulder and a little bit tapered in. And already, we just haven't done it twice, right? We've developed a better technique, I would say. And that is woodworking in its very foundation. That's a good illustration of practice is definitely the way to get better. By just giving yourself a set of tasks. Like a lot of this stuff I do is not a necessary thing, obviously. But all of them are challenging things. You notice when it gets a little too easy for me, I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of it. Well, if I do, I'm doing it in the stage of a step to build something probably a little bit more challenging. But right now, just drilling a hole, giving us some work to do. As we know, it's not absolutely level, because every time we put something round on here, it rolls. All right, I'll see if I can push this extra out. Nope. I'm going to clear that out too. I don't want to make a little compact situation in there. I'm going to drill that out. That little sawdust that we just cut. It'll keep us a little bit cleaner in there and give us all the room that we need to go completely down if we need to go completely down. Again, I'm going to put some gel on these edges and let it just roll down the walls of what we just cut in at the top of that hex. And we'll put in a little extra. It'll push down and cover those walls and the floor of what we got here. That in, and then we're just gonna let those straight in. I'm gonna give it a little tap. It worked out even better than the previous one, I think. Going down real easy. Super tight already. Now we're into that straight wood. It's perfect. That's perfect for what we're doing. It'll be kind of interesting for me doing it here on this desk. I think it'll be a good thing for us overall. So all goes well. That sits at some point in some way. Right? And that should give me the ability to send, say, this through there and be held. Right? Should also give me the ability to attach standing blocks to this particular rod. Sort of in the same way, right? Or I can use them, right? I am going to have to put some sort of sleeve on there so I don't get that sound. I don't get that situation. But I got to find out where my tolerances are, how far back I need to be, or can I be, or should I be? And then I'll keep a sleeve from there to there, whichever, so it doesn't do that awful sound. But I want to be able to adjust it back here. And that'll keep me from going too far, right? And I also want to be able to adjust it up here. That'll let me get a little closer, a little further, whatever. But I think the next item of business is going to be making blocks that this will fit into. So I'm going to need a drill bit that's almost as wide as this, and just have to sort of force it in. That might mean a Forstner bit. That might mean a Forstner. Let's see. That's pretty close. That's gonna eat that thing up. So whatever we do, when we use this, we're gonna have to put a starter bit on there to get it going. And we'll just follow it. So I got a couple blocks that I don't have any use for and any designated thing to do with. So we'll start with a couple of those. And do not do this way, please. Please. If you got a vise, use it. This is not the right way. I repeat. Janky. You can do this with a C clamp. You can do this with an F clamp. You're just fastening it and doing it that way. But this way, it's just dumb. You think it's cool to do your kick flips. If you're on a skateboard, I say do it. But don't hold a drill in your naked hand while you're drilling with a big giant auger on the other hand. It's crazy. Like the level of damage you can do. It's very real. I'm not being tongue in cheek. I'm telling you, you can mess yourself up. Don't do that. All right. I'm going to open this up just a smidget more. And I think we can make that work, y'all. I really do. Like it's close, but it ain't exactly there. But I feel like, you know what I mean? I just feel like I'm close enough that I shouldn't trip. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go about halfway. It did not split, so I'm going to go ahead and pop some glue in there. Remember, this is gel, so it's going to cling to the walls. It's not going to just slide down there where we're not going to be able to get the use of it. As I hit this, it should be sending glue down there with it. Eye protection. You don't want spatter. That'd be the worst day you ever had. Now, you got that there. We're going to push it all towards those corners, inside of that hole, wherever we can, in the joints in between. When I say the hole, I mean the joints, where we've got a space between round and square. Just go around each one of those. Squeeze this a little bit. Remember, we already got some in there. Don't get insecure on me now. Then we're going to take this same sawdust that we just made, do what we just did before. Just hit it on top. We're going to try to avoid getting it down in our threads or any of that stuff, but we are going to push it to the to the outside edges for that nut. So that we do have some filler in between there and somewhat of a mechanical bond in addition. Right? So now, say I need to sharpen a knife. And I says to myself, Wes, what angle you want to sharpen your knife at? Look how deeply that's going in there. I want to sharpen it at this angle or that angle. Put my knife there. Except I've got sandpaper on it. Get myself a good edge. Now, what I'm going to have to do, or what I'm going to get to do, is make me 4 or 5 of these blocks. This is a 320. That's what I'm going to put on this one. I might even put something heavy duty like 100 grit or something on there. Because these I'm just going to keep wrapping. Once I burn through it, because this is automotive paper, wet dry. It's good stuff. It's good for getting an edge, for sharpening. It's not great for cutting an edge because it's paper, but it does decent. And you can use a block like this. You'll cut a good edge with it, and you can sharpen with it forever. But if you got to cut another edge, you're going to probably want to put more paper over it. And the good thing about this stuff, put some more contact cement on, get another sheet, go right over top of it. It's fine. Fine. And you can get a bunch of them out, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time. It does not take a whole lot of time to do. So I believe I'm going to go ahead and do one. I may do this one with the what grit is this belt? I don't even see it. Oh, this is a 120 grit belt. And this is heavy duty because it's off of what it's off of. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. We're gonna glue this. We're gonna go ahead and put that together. All right. Since we're already in it, we might as well get all the way into it. While that's drying, we'll be working on another one. But it looks like we got a good plan. I've got 1, 2, 3 more of these in this pack. So we got 4, 5 of these total we can do. So we'll work our way up the grits, but we've got enough to start heavy. This is heavy duty stuff for what we're gonna do. Oh, we're just gonna start at a clean-ish place on it. Just cut that bad boy free. Question is, do we want to cover this way or that way? Because this is not quite enough to cover our whole edge this way. So we'll just go that way and we'll double up. We'll do 2 edges at a time. No problem. Let's go full length. It'll be somewhere around about there. And we'll just start working on it right here, right where we're at. Got this little piece of scrap cedar here. It's not in the way in any particularly bad way. Flip this over. Got our stuff. Go ahead and hit 2 sides that are uninterrupted, not problematic. We'll do those straight away. Boom. Boom. Good on there, relatively heavy, but not heavy. Pull off whatever feels like too much. And we'll use it over here. Like really, you don't need a lot, but you want to cover the entire surface for sure. So it's a fine line. Sometimes it takes some getting used to. That's plenty now. Other time you can't just pull it off. Real light pressure, then you're good. That's enough. You don't want big shiny globs of this on any of it. Don't. Big shiny globs, they'll dry unevenly, and you'll have pockets of non-adhesion wherever you have a big blob at, because it's not going to dry at the same rate. You'll even trap it in there uncured. It's okay to be relatively generous because it's easy to spread this stuff and get it distributed. Takes a little bit to dry up. Again, be very particular about making sure that you get the edges all the way to the edges. Not close to the edges, over the edges. If you don't do that, wherever that edge meets, it's not going to lay down, and it's always going to stick up. It's always going to bother you. It's always going to let junk underneath it, and it won't ever be the bond you want it to be. And while you're at the stage of putting it on, take a little more time, make sure the edges are good. I promise you will not regret that. All right, so now as you can see, I still got some wet right here. That's why I'm not going to move forward. This stuff's soaking up pretty good, so it's going to dry fairly fast. And I did put it on heavy because the fabric's going to soak it up some, you know. And just sit and we will. In the meantime, I can look around and see if I've got any more of the stuff that I can make out of. And yeah, I do. I can use this piece. Okay, I don't know if I'm back or not. It's giving me crazy vibes today, y'all. I don't know what happened. But we went from people in here to not people in here. Okay, it's all good. We're back, I guess. I apologize, but as you all know, it's YouTube. They don't give me any warning when the feed cuts. It just is off. On my screen, I'm perfectly fine, and I have no idea that's going on. I just look at the numbers and see, oh, there's 2 people in this chat. That something happened. So sorry about that. At the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and open up another one of these. Yeah, please hit that like button. We could use it right now. We got shafted a little bit on this last little mission. Thanks for hanging out and staying put, Beard Grooves. I appreciate you. That's what friends are for. Keep smiling. All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to roll this over real tight. There we are. That gave us exactly what we want. 3 good sides, good material. Compress that down just to get it a little bit better, but believe me, that is stuck solid all the way. Good stuff. That's going to work for us. All right, this one. Yeah, we're going to have to tap them in, but we're also going to have to smack some glue in that bad boy. We're going to use up all of this super glue today, I think. A good bit of it, because it's gel. It's gel. Squeeze. I think these will hold without glue at all. So, how good I am. I don't know for sure. And one thing I do like to know is for sure. So I'm going to do extra. That's all you want to do. That's all you want to do. Put some dust around the perimeter. It's just going to let it help dry that stuff and help fill those gaps. Help fill those gaps. And then you could put some regular super glue around that. And lock it in even better. But that's enough. So now we've got 2. 120. 320. Next logical step should be, I'd say 600. 600 ought to be good. Look, we even got a 2K already started. That's dope. That's going to be good for us. That's a 600 right there. Is it wide enough for our doohickey to go? Oops. I'm going to be pushing it. But, you know, push it to the limit. I'm pushing it. All right, we're getting close. All right. I was trying to open that hole up without busting out the sides. Did decent. Did decent. Get a little bit more out of there, though. Talk to me like that. Don't you raise your tone to me like that. Let's go ahead and put him on a charge, though. So we got something going while we ain't got nothing going. You feel me? You feel me? All right, where is it though? Why do I ask you every time? You don't know Jack. You don't know nothing about what I'm doing and what I got going on. Apparently, I don't either. That makes us equals, comrades, amigos, hombres. I'm looking for an empty place to plug in. Do that over here on this side of the room. All right, we're flashing. We're flashing. That means we're loading. Okay. Pour a little bit of water here. Did all right. Let's see if it did enough. We got 3 blocks already. Well, 2. And then a third already kind of started. So we got 120. We got 320 done. Got 600 on the way. From there, we're going to want 1200. I think that'll be this. And then we'll go to the 2000. That'll be that. And I might have a 3000 somewhere. And I was thinking of using one of my whetstones, seeing if I could drill a hole in that, my fine and coarse. The one I don't use. That might be an option. It feels like it's splitting. Yeah, it feels like it's splitting inside. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. With this one, let's go with a chisel. And what we'll do is square out some of those corners. That'll give us a little bit more room while the tools recharge. We won't need to do a lot of this. But we're going to need to do some. And all I'm doing is just widening my hole at the base a little bit. Pretty good sharp chisel. And not quite wide enough to give us no dramatic tear out. So I'm ultimately just widening the hole with the chisel itself. Thank you for hanging out with me, y'all. I really do appreciate it. Keeps me sane a little bit. Keeps my wife sane a little bit too, because then I'm down here with you, not up there, driving her nuts. I don't ask you to hit the like button if you don't like nothing. But if you do, or if you don't like anything, yeah, go check out some shorts and see if there's anything over there entertaining in my short section. Quite a bit of stuff there. And Hip Hop Workshop, which is in my playlist section. Those are fun. It's just music and then me doing certain things. Usually I'm trying to tell the story of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. So the words aren't absolutely necessary in some of them. Those are the ones I make into little musical shorts. That's successful. It's nice and tight and we won't get greedy. And I believe, once again, that the magic here is that we will be able to go down our grades of paper pretty easily. We'll be able to see what we need, see what we got, what we're using, and we can just move all the way up through the grits, locking them in. That is awesome to me. I'll just pack this around these edges. We're building a device, y'all. So we got 120, 320, 600. This is 2000. I'm going to do the 1200 one first. I know I got it right around how. Oh, that's 320. Come on, drawer. Nobody playing no games with you. All right. This is 1200 grit. I'm going to shoot for boom, boom, boom. 3 sides on this one. Where is our cutter? This will do for now. Awesome part is it's paper. It's really easy to get what you want. Boom, boom. Cut it nice and clean. And you got so much of this. Like, I've got so much of this. Like, there's many of these in here, and I can just keep popping them on. If they get gone, it's completely fine. Not gone, but if I use them and this gets worn out, it's completely fine. Big size here, big size here. Corners are going to be more important than anything, so I'm going to make sure I got the sides with the best corners and the best flat. I shouldn't say the corners are more important than the flat, but you know what I'm saying. In fact, I got a little debris on here I need to get off to keep it flat on this side. Ugh, throw that on the floor, Wes. Okay. I will. All right, this is oak. The other is poplar. I'm not being particular about the type of wood I'm using for this. As long as I don't split it, it should be okay. And even then, it should be okay as long as I don't split it too bad. These are all just scraps, convenient scraps. And that's how I treat them. I keep them around in case I need them. You didn't know I was going to bust a flow, did you? What I do, son? What I do? A horse is a horse is a horse, of course. And no one can talk to a horse, of course. All right, now we've got that set. We got that set. I thank you for the all 23 of y'all who in here. Any of y'all who want to go hit that like button. I'm down with it. I appreciate you. I should go fly RC planes. You definitely should, dude. My son has some. He got quite a little collection because we hook him up every Christmas and every birthday. That's what he asks for. So he's got a nice little set. We'll go out to the park, man. Big old baseball fields. We got a park out here that's just got baseball field after baseball field after baseball field. So you can go out there and really have at it. Get some good distance on that thing. So, okay. Yeah, I got one more that I need that for. That's going to go on that. And that'll be at the end of that. I need this one. And that's good. I'm going to scoot this over so the sawdust from this doesn't get on that and ruin the adhesion. We already got a hole started. I have no idea why, but we're going to finish it. That was convenient. Listen, I'll come over to your house and you say, hey, Wes, I made some of these dealies that you made, and I see that you didn't use a vise for it. Gut checking you right there. Boom, right in the gut. And I'll be like, are you crazy? Could have cut your fingers. Could have hurt yourself real bad, Tony. Safety first, peeps. Don't just do what you're comfortable with. This one's wiggling. Well, it's got room. Apparently, I did a better job cutting this one. But just more room for glue. But yeah, safety first. Nothing more important than that. Speed, not the fine finishing, not the beautification of the thing. Nothing is going to be more important than whether or not you can do it again tomorrow if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind when you're watching other people on the internet too. You've got a different level of skill set than they do. You got to know that. You got to function that way. Keep yourself safe and sound. This thing is wiggling. I'm gonna have to put the activator on it because otherwise I'm gonna stay paranoid about this one. Or I can get some of that other glue. Oops. There is also the super glue that is not gel, just liquidy, and that'll bond really quickly with these little granules and fibers. Man, they are kicking my booty today on this Uberus tuberous. I'm sorry. I was not aware that happened again. But I was able to reset the phone, do Jimmy Hickey, and It is what it is, right? So if people are coming back to watch it, then for them that'll just be a blank space. It'll just cut straight from. Our last was tolerable to just now. So let's just do a quick check-in and see if our gadgetry worked. That's going on pretty well. That's a 120, right? So let's find us a sacrificial blade. Ooh, I don't know that I have one. Don't know if I want to do. Oh, yeah, it'll work. So it'd be just a matter of right. I just have to sit this on some sort of cradle. Put a magnet on it, and this could absolutely work. No problems. I'm going to build a fairly rudimentary little device here. I'm going to just cut a block out of this. Not very big. I'm going to put 2 magnets in it, strong enough to hold the blade on there. I'm going to put them relatively close to the edge, and we'll see how that goes. Let's see if we can find the Forstner bit that I'm going to need to make that hole. Forstner bit. Oh yeah, oh my Forstner bit. It would be so nice. Because what I can do is clamp this in, right, and just shift it until I get all the articulation accurate, so that I can tell exactly what angle I'm at, so on and so forth, that kind of thing. We've got a magnet stuck to another magnet somewhere. What the heck was I doing and or thinking when I did it? Because I know there's a magnet stuck to some other magnets somewhere. Bam, right here. This is how hard these are to come apart, dude. Yeah, that's a real effort. I wasn't even exaggerating that. That's too small. That is not. I'm not going to go through a whole lot of this. Did you see that? Yo, this is how strong these magnets are, you know. This is crazy. Look at this. That's crazy. It delights me, sir. This was dying, this battery, so hopefully there'll be enough juice to cut into this. It's just cedar, so cedar's fairly soft. We'll go fast. See if we can get it to stay put. Not gonna go too deep, not gonna go too fast. Smells so good. Smells so good. Speaking of glues, that'll fit. I'm not going to be 100% sure of one side versus the other side, if that's going to matter with my magnets. Like if one of them is, let's just call it A and B side. One of them is A side up and the other one is B side up. Will that make a difference at all? I don't know. put them both in there. Holy crap, those hold strong. Oh, I'm not close enough to the edge over here. That's easy to fix. I'm gonna cut some edge off. I'm gonna have to point another way. And I'm gonna have to leave you plugged in because, you know, I'm embarrassing myself. That worked out. Come on back, like Chubb Rock once said. People are gonna see this live up and be like, yeah, that got cut off 2 hours ago. What happened with the stream? Oh man, it just dropped, dude. I just look up and it's not streaming. It's there, but for me it's there. For you, it's not. And my monitor has to tell me that. That is bananas. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Did you even know that could happen? Look. It's flipping itself over to match the one next to it. It's crazy. So, again, the beauty of this gel stuff. It is not going to come out of that hole. Like, they're pulling towards each other, trying to stay in the hole. Look, that could have been my fingers. They love each other so much. I'm going to set you way over there. And hopefully they don't stick to each other with this super glue on it. That would be tragic. Just believe there's some good value to the gel part of this situation. Sit right there. Put this one over here. I feel like I need to maybe put something over top of the other one so it don't jump out of that hole, glue itself to the other. Oh, that's the end of my gel. I am at the bottom of that barrel. Let me put something there just to have some weight on it so it doesn't want to jump over. Put my 320 there. There's a bug trying to live. Fix that. All right. We'll let that sit right there. That'll keep both of those from being able to jump out of that hole and anything weird from happening. We got 50 likes and I do appreciate it, yo. Please hit that like button since I am getting kicked on and off and I don't want this to be a bad live. I am gonna take a break, maybe do a short, maybe figure out some of the articulation on the angles for this thing. Maybe even put a little PVC on the back to give myself some additional support. And then I'll see you guys when I come back. I thank y'all very much for hanging out. There's been a whole lot of y'all coming through, and I do appreciate it. I'm sorry. I've been losing the feed this morning, but I'm going to try to, I don't know that I can do anything about that, but I'll try to monitor it a little bit better so that I can correct it when it does happen. Thank y'all a lot for coming out, hanging out. I think we are onto something here. And I think I'll be able to make better knives as a result of what we're doing today. And if that's the case, I'll be a happy camper. Thanks a lot, y'all, for hanging out with your boy. I appreciate your beard grooves. I appreciate your weekend beaners, I should be saying. And the rest of y'all who've come out and come back and forth. Thank you, Siege. You came through as well. I appreciate you. I'm gone. Remember, hang out in the chat. Go see the shorts. Hit the like on your way out. Thank y'all for coming through. West does it. I'll holler at you soon. Peace.